Good morning, gang. Good morning, twin.
Today, I'm going to be talking about our game, Duel Stars. We've been keeping this in secret for about 9 months. A decent amount of people have known about it, but nothing public really. And we've had some testing. However, like I said, we've been working on this for 9 months, since around early January, and we are ready to announce this. So yeah, anyways. Who are we? We go under the name of Twin Comets. This is like our brand. This is where we technically want to consider hosting everything under. We are twin developers, which is, why we are called the Twin Comets. And my brother goes by Yeti. I go by Star. We just graduated from high school. And yeah, lastly, we've had passion for game development our whole lives, probably since we were like 5 years old. So yeah. Anyways, here's some experience which I'll go through. We have almost 11 years of experience on Roblox. We joined late 2014, and I'm gonna go through some photos here. This is one of our first projects that we worked on together. I made most of the maps, like most assets, the entire map. My brother made the swords and the UI and the scripting. We did this summer of 2023, and this was like our first exposure to game development. However, we canceled it. Then summer of 2024, we decided to expand, and we really leveled up our experience here, right? But still, we didn't really get anything out of this other than experience. We didn't get any Robux money, whatever. In fact, almost nobody really knew about this, right? We just worked on it together. We spent about 4 or 5 months on this. Once again, this was a year later. And then, about 5 months after that project, I decided to start a community group called Wordified, where I began uploading text bubble shoulder UGC accessories. And I've uploaded well over 1,500 of these. And by the way, if you guys want custom designs, you can request them for free. But yeah, I've been working on this, and this has been a huge lesson. We've learned so much from this, in terms of development, how moderation works, uploading accessories, and yeah. About our game. So it's just like MVSD, right? You queue up with your friends or with random people. It's one click, one kill. There's abilities, all the same ones, plus more. 1v1 up to 4v4. You can collect weapons, you can trade weapons, and so on. Once again, if you know how to play MVSD, you know how to play our game. Alright, new features. I didn't know what to put on this slide, but let's just move on. We have dual wield, which is purely cosmetic, and you can hold 2 different weapons at the same time. We have weapon effects. This is just a showcase of some of the ones we've made. We plan on releasing many throughout the game. These are going to be pretty valuable, so yeah. We're going to have better trading. We really value trading, especially my twin brother. So yeah, we're going to have infinite trade slots. There's also going to be up to 1,000 trade logs, so you can view your last 1,000 trades. And if you get scammed or whatever happens, you can have evidence or proof. We have tradable game passes, tradable currency, which we'll get into next. We have 2 currencies. We have star coins and comet coins. Star coins are earned through matches, missions, leveling up, so on. You cannot buy star coins. However, you can buy comet coins. These are only purchasable or achievable through Robux. And so yeah. Soda boosters. Don't mind the one on the right. But the way these work is you wear them on your waist. Unfortunately, I didn't put any screenshots here. Maybe next video. But you wear them on your waist and you can drink from them. And so the ones you wear are purely cosmetic. However, at the end of each match, you can choose to actually use the booster in your inventory. And so the way these work is with each update, there's going to be soda can designs released, and so you can collect them, trade them, whatever. They're going to be decently rare, I'm sure. And so, yeah. Alright, skill rewards. So, we also value actual skills, earning more for your skills. So, if you get a headshot, you earn more star coins. If you have a larger kill streak or a kill streak at all, you earn more star coins, and so on. Alright, match rewards. So, my brother and I have been free to play most of our lives, and we still are for the most part. So we understand how it feels to not just be able to spend 2,000 Robux on the latest bundle. So, just by playing matches, you can win star coin and XP boosters. You can win up to 20 plus free weapons. You can win titles, and so on. There is actually a lot of things you can win. And the cool thing is you can win a pink pony unicorn, which is pretty cool. Statistics. So we have stat trackers. It can keep track of how much time you've played, how many headshots, boxes opened, and I believe like around 20 stats. I mean, it's a lot. So yeah, it's pretty cool if you're interested in that stuff. Other features, we have up to 50 levels as of right now. We don't have any plans of increasing it or adding rebirths, but you can level up to level 50, and just so you know, getting to level 50 is going to be near impossible. It's going to be really, really hard. And as I've mentioned, we also have titles, which is going to be a fun aspect of this game. Upcoming features. This is stuff that is going to come after release. We're going to have ranked, which the community absolutely wants. In the MM2 genre and subgenres, ranked is very important, or at least is very much wanted. We're also going to have clans. Think like Brawlhalla, however, you can add custom images, and so on. It's going to be a cool feature. Limited quantity and limited time items. We understand the value of knives and guns in soda cans and so on in our game effects. So we are going to release things with like 10 quantity or 1,000, or it can be available for a week or an hour. So yeah, you guys get the idea. We are also going to have a unique map design for the trading server, or for the lobby. We will have mobile only servers, and once again, this is all after release. It's not going to come out during release. We're going to have custom matches, so you can party up with your friends and you can do like a 1v2, 1v3, select any map, ban certain things, whatever. We're going to also have custom crosshairs. And so something very important to us is just customizability, right? We want to be able to customize our own crosshairs, or change the theme of the UI, or have dual wield or effects. Just, we want awesome cosmetics and customizability in our game, Updates. So this one's very important. Every month is going to be a release of a new update. We have tons of updates planned out. And don't worry, we also take into account burnout. We understand burnout is a thing among developers, but we're not going to be overworking ourselves. Yeah, so annually we might have a festival. So this can be like 4 or 5 updates strung together along 2 months. We're also going to have clash battles, is what we call it. It's like the skirmish events in Brawlhalla, where it's like game wide. You join the game and you have 2 sides to choose from. And in Brawlhalla they did one where it was like waffles versus pancakes, right? You join the game, and if you chose like team waffles, you can only choose it once, and you have to stick to it, and you have to like meet certain criteria, or like get a certain amount of kills or whatever, and whichever team earns the most of whatever, they get to win the rewards, like titles, knives, guns, so on. This is gonna be a really fun event, so yeah. Also game mode cycles. So eventually we may release a queue pad where you can, every month, the game mode changes. It can be a 5v5. It can be like a game mode in which your ability changes every kill, or maybe dropped abilities. So many fun things we can do. Maybe there's gonna be like mines where you can drop them. If somebody walks into it, it blows up. Here are some displays of maps we have in our game. This one's called Cargo Giants. So there's a bunch of containers and giants carrying them around. It's a square map, and there's tons of places to hide. It's pretty cool. The Corner. This is a city map which has gone through an unbelievable amount of transformation. There is so many stories behind this, and so much more to come in the future, by the way. But yeah, this one is really cool. It loops. You can enter through the Bob Mart in the blue building on the left side. And yeah, it's really cool. Stone Island. This one I came up with recently. There's a little tunnel or like a little structure you can enter on one side of the map, and there's obstacles on the other end, or even in the middle. It's just mostly grass. It used to be an island like beach map, but now it's just this. We also have Spider. This one's still in development. I just came up with this a few days ago, and we are still working on this. Yeah. Here are some screenshots of the game in general, just to give you a feel of what it's like. Everything is still under development. Most of this is bound to change, but you can see the currencies, the weapons. Some of the weapon icons aren't updated. They're not glowing. We actually did export good images of every weapon in our game. However, we haven't replaced them yet. You can see leaderboards in the bottom right. We just added those a few days ago. So we're still working on those. However, I believe they're fully functional. Yeah, bottom left you can see there's trading. Top left is the shop. Top right is a sniper. Alright, let's talk about the community. So, moderation. Not everything is fixable. There's always going to be issues. There's always going to be exploiters, things like that. However, we are going to have a decently sized moderation team, in which we do plan to start off with 5 to 6 moderators at least. And so, for us, we have very high standards. So, we have high standards for our moderators, and we expect a lot. However, we also do expect them to have lives. We don't want moderators who are on all day, every day, believe it or not. However, we want a sizable team in which we have enough that are on at all times. And moderators will be paid a lot in Robux, potentially 20, 30,000 Robux a month. We will also do tons of giveaways. It makes us happy to make other people happy, so that's something we absolutely enjoy. We also take a lot of feedback. We've talked with the community that we've built up of about 200 people every single day for the last month or so. And so we have changed so much, we have learned so much, and the game feels a lot better. So we are so willing to listen to feedback and take all that stuff into account. Community votes. So sometimes for events we may give the community multiple options, and then it's like the Minecraft Live type thing, where you have like 3 options, for example, and the most voted for option goes first, and then the next month or whatever, or maybe down the line the next update comes out. This is all just stuff to think about. We do plan on implementing most, if not all of this, but not all of this immediately on release. Feel free to help us out. You can join the Discord server, which the code is in the description, or it's on the next slide, which I'll show in a second. However, we can commission you guys if you guys are talented, if you guys have skills or abilities or whatever. Maybe you can record content and spread our game more. And if you're notable, if you're a content creator or any sort like that, we can give you access to the game right now. Otherwise, beta players will actually have access to the game if you're in the Discord server within the next few weeks. We pay more for commissions. We don't like to scam people. We don't do like $5 an icon or whatever. So yeah, we're gonna pay you more than usual for your commissions. Video editing and public affairs. If you have like video editing skills, we'd totally love to have that on our team. We don't really practice that too much. Specifically, especially for like short form content, that would be very helpful. And then anything else you guys got in mind. And this is our Discord code, so feel free to join our Discord server. There's tons more screenshots and progress being shared there. We would absolutely love to have people of all talents, or even just people that can give us feedback, experienced players, whatever, or even if you're an aspiring developer. I will admit I'm kind of tired right now, but so don't mind that. But you guys can contact us. You guys can ask us questions about how we really got into development and more in-depth questions. So yeah, join up.